welcome to another haul video. So not going to be doing DVDs this time. This is the video I promised you at the end of the 900th DVD haul part video. I'm going to talk about what games I've picked up so far for the N64. It's not too many, so this should be a relatively short video, unlike the last one that I had to split up over 3 different videos. I'll start from the bottom because I think that's the order I've originally purchased them in. Okay, so first up, when I bought the N64, I was like, well, it's kind of pointless to buy a system and not at least get one game with it. So I went through the games that the guy had there, and there were a few that looked interesting, but, you know, not really knowing the system that well, I kind of wanted to stick with something that I was familiar with, you know, a popular title. So the first one I got was Castlevania. And these are all something I can do reviews or talk about, you know, more in depth later if that's something you guys are interested in. Like, I'll play through them, and I might not do like a full let's play of them where I go through like stage by stage and film it, but I might do like a recap of like my experience with it, what I thought of it, if that's something you guys are interested in, or if you're like, no, just do a let's play. You know, but some of these I might not play all the way through because some of them are a little difficult. But last I could do an overall system review of what I think of the N64 in general, even though it's been out for 100 years. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to see. But yeah, so I got Castlevania, played that for a while, and I was like, you know, that's okay and all, but let me go get something else. So I went back down to the game store, shopped around for a little bit, and ended up picking up I was gonna pick up a couple games that day, and like I was like, well, I'll get like 1 or 2 games, and nothing was really jumping out at me. And I was like, well, let me look around a bit, and then I'll pick something. And like right as I was standing there trying to figure out which one I wanted to buy, a guy came in selling off his N64 collection. So he had probably 20 or so games, the system, you know, all that stuff. And I asked the lady, you know, because they ended up buying it from him. I was like, well, are you able to resell that right away, or do you gotta, like, some other stores want to catalog it all first and price it out? And she's like, no, if you're interested, I can sell you something. So I looked through what he had, and gotta pull it out of the system here. And he had a couple that I was actually interested in, but I had just spent a ton of money, and I was like, I really can't justify spending too much. There was another one I wish I had grabbed just because it was there. But I ended up just buying one, and I think I bought a memory card that day too. And that was Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which I'm currently in the process of playing. It's the one I've been playing most out of everything I have here. That's why I had to pull it out of the system. He also had Majora's Mask and a copy of Paper Mario. Paper Mario was the one that I actually wanted to get, but I just couldn't justify the price that they were wanting for both of them because they're more popular titles. I couldn't justify doing that right then. So the next day, I was like, you know what, just go back and get it. And I went back down there, and sure enough, just about everything that guy had brought in was gone, except for like, I think there was like a Diddy Kong Racing or something that was still there. Everything else had been purchased. So again, I went back to browsing through the cabinet. I was like, well, I made the trip down there, I might as well get something while I'm here. And I was like, well, I would have ended up spending about $30 for that title, so I can get like a couple different games added up to about $20, and I should be fine. So I looked through, and again, nothing's really jumping out at me, you know. But I was like, well, let me just grab a couple and try them. So first one I picked out was Nightmare Creatures. Again, I don't want to say too much about the games in general, just because I might do Let's Plays on them, I might just do a game review on them, I might do a full system review of like everything I've played. I said it depends on what you guys are interested in seeing, so by all means let me know. But yeah, I picked up Nightmare Creatures. The next one I saw, I wasn't really sure what it was about, but I was like, yeah, I'll try it. That was Forsaken 64. I haven't played too much of that yet. Actually, I haven't played too much of any of these. Played a little bit of Nightmare Creatures, a little bit of Castlevania. I put in Forsaken 64 just to see what it was about and make sure it worked. Also, I picked up... Ooh, what the hell got all over this? That wasn't like that when I bought it, I don't think. But also picked up Namco Museum 64, so it's got like 6 games on it. It's like Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, so basically they say 6 games, but Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man are more or less the same game. So it's basically got 5. Um, Dig Dug and Pole Position, Galaga, and Galaxian, I think, which Galaga and Galaxian are almost sort of the same thing. Pole Position, it's alright. One thing I did notice on this, especially with Pac-Man, is the controls are really sluggish, so like you push a certain direction, it doesn't always respond right away, which makes Pac-Man a little hard to play, but at the same time kind of takes you back to the old Atari version, because that thing was hard as hell to control. So I got that. And then, just for something different, just if you guys watch my gameplays, you know I kind of like puzzle games. So we got Rugrats Scavenger Hunt. And screw you if you don't like Rugrats, because Rugrats was awesome. I saw the other day Nickelodeon's going to put out a new... Originally I thought they said it was going to be a new channel, now they're saying it's just going to be a new programming block where it's got like all the old 90s, Jesus. It has all the 90s cartoons. So I'm actually looking forward to that. Rugrats is on that, so I'll probably be watching it. So yeah, I got that. Then back at the other store where I actually picked up all the DVDs, because I originally went over there to see what they had in games. They only had a couple, and the only one that really stuck out to me over there was this one, which is Perfect Dark. Again, I only played a little bit of it. Somebody told me it was a really good game. I'm having a little bit of trouble figuring out the controls. So I haven't played too much of it yet. Like I said, I've been mainly focusing on Legend of Zelda since I picked it up. So there's that. And then the other day, stupid me, I actually broke my controller the other day completely by accident. I set it on the counter, got up to go get a drink. The cable hooked around my foot, and as I walked, I jerked it out of the... I thought jerked it out of the system. I was like, oh great, I probably fucked up the controller port. Or it didn't do anything, because that's usually the case. So I went to bend down, picked up the controller, and there's like an inch of the cable left sticking out of the top here. There's like 1 inch of that left, and the rest of this cable is laying on the floor. And I was like, fudge. So I was like, well, let me go up the street to the game store, see how much a replacement controller costs. And they had one that was like $15, another one that was $20. And I was asking, like which one has the better feel, which one controls better, because one of the biggest problems with the N64 is this damn thumbstick. And I just, yeah, I'll get into more of that if you want to see a system review. But I was like asking the guy, well, which one do you prefer? And he's like, well, it's really personal. I'm like, come on, guy, give me some direction here. You want to make money or not? And then he was telling me about, he was showing me the $14 one, which was kind of like this, but this isn't it. And he didn't want to open up the package to let me get a feel for it, so he pulls this out of a bargain bin. He's like, well, it's more or less like this, but not really. I was like, well, what is this? He goes, oh, I wouldn't worry about that. That's just a bargain bin controller. They're not tested. We don't know if they work or how they handle. And I was like, how much is it? He's like, oh, it's $5. And I was like, well, I guess I could try it out for $5. He goes, yeah, but there's no refunds on there as is, so if it doesn't work, then you're out $5. I was like, well, if it doesn't work for $5, it goes in the trash or in a box for spare parts, because, this works, these work, that moves, so if for some reason something breaks on one of my others, I got a spare part, right? And then, for $5, I'll try it out. If it doesn't work, I'll come back up and get one of the other two. So I got it home, tried it out. It works. The thumbstick is a little sensitive, a little bit more sensitive than the other one. But yeah, so I have a second controller for $5. But yeah, so anyway, while I was up there looking at controllers, I was like, well, let me see what they got in games real quick too. And I picked up this one, which is Yoshi's Story. Played a little bit of this one. Again, still trying to figure out the controls on it. It doesn't really give you much direction as far as like, in the first part you gotta get past an elephant, and it's like, you have to do a special move, but it doesn't tell you how to do the special move. You just gotta like button mash and figure it out. But I did finally figure it out completely by accident. So I got that, I played that a little bit, but mostly, like I said, I've been playing Legend of Zelda. But yeah, that's it for the N64 games I've purchased over the past couple weeks that you haven't seen me. Yeah, so now wrap this up, and I think I'm going to go play some more Legend of Zelda. Or actually, I might make something for lunch. It's about lunchtime. Ooh, it's past lunchtime, and I gotta go to bed soon because I gotta work tonight. So I might go make some lunch, and then I'm gonna play some Legend of Zelda. Maybe watch one of these hundreds of movies I have until I pass out. So that's it for this video. Again, as always, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys want to see more of. If you want to see more of the game review, like system review, overall review, gameplay, movie review. If you want to see the DVD reviews, that is something I want to get into. That's just a little bit more in depth of seeing how much footage I can actually use before there's copyright issues. Actually scripting not necessarily scripting something out, but better scripting my thoughts as far as just sitting down in front of the camera and freestyling it like I am now. So there's that. More product placement. That's getting really hard to do because I'm having trouble finding stuff. I might actually be doing a few more chain reactions than product placement just because I found a place downtown that has some stuff. It's just a matter of getting down there with the camera. This camera's on its last leg. I really need to get a new one. So there's that. But yeah, I got a few things in the works, but yeah, let me know what you guys want to see because I want to kind of cater the channel more to you guys. I don't want to just keep pushing out random crap and, like one thing gets a bunch of views and then I release another of the exact same thing, it gets 0 views, and then I release something else and it gets like 5 reviews and then, or 5 views I should say, not reviews. So yeah, mostly just, I need a direction to go in, so let me know, what's going on with my hair. So let me know what you guys think, but yeah, now I'm just rambling, so again, as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, we'll see you on the next haul video.